Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is a Taurus GX4 Toro, optics ready. You've seen this in a couple of videos on the channel, including a full review. No major issues to report, so it's time for a good cleaning. Things you will need to get a cleaning done on your GX4, doesn't have to be the Toro, any of the GX4s, is of course a GX4. You may opt for some gloves of some type, keep the chemicals and all the grit and grime you get all out of the GX4 off your hands, but those are not necessary. You will need some cotton pads. These are for pistol caliber, 9mm. You'll need some kind of cleaning lubrication. This is an all-in-one. It's CLP break-free in a little needle bottle. I got this off Amazon. These work so well compared to typical spray bottles or anything like that. A little more fine tip there to really get a good clean and precise lubrication. You need a pull-through rod or push-through rod. You need a pull-through for the actual pads here, the patches. You need a 9mm wire brush. Brass is preferred. You could also use the nylon ones. You could use these or Q-tips, but these are picks that allow you to kind of get in all the nooks and crannies with these patches. And one of my gripes, unfortunately, with the GX4 is it is not toolless. This right here is a tool that comes with the GX4. It is a GX4, but it has a little flat head, and you'll need this to take down the actual handgun. Why you need a tool in 2022 to take down a handgun, I don't know, but nonetheless, here we are. So let's get into this. Step one is always safety. Drop your mag, check to make sure there is nothing in the chamber, double check. Pull the trigger, which is another unfortunate thing you have to do with the GX4, but safety is the first thing you do anyway, so pulling trigger isn't that bad. There's a little locking hole with a flathead right here. You could potentially use a case from a 9mm case as well, but you turn it counterclockwise, about a quarter turn, just like so, and then the slide actually slides right off. All right, take out your spring and guide rod. It is captured. Take out your barrel like so, pull up and out, and set all that aside, and you're done with your field stripping of the GX4. Now, first step is to actually take some oil here, and we'll start with the easy stuff. Let's do the spring. So take some of your CLP, take a patch, put a little bit of CLP on there. See, you can make little drops, you can squirt it quite a bit. These little needle bottles I found off Amazon are really nice, but you actually buy a larger thing of CLP like this, which I've had for a very long time because it just lasts a lot longer if you buy it in larger quantities and then just disperse it in bottles. I like to go and do a quick wipe on the outside, and then I'll take my fingernail and actually stick it in right here and just do a quick twist and run the spring down while getting some of that powder and debris out of the spring. Same with the little springs there. You can just kind of see it goes down with your fingers, get the base, and that's it for the spring. See, not too bad so far. Barrel, you can either use this up as much as you can if you want to use some of these patches. You're going to be wiping this a few times anyways. You can kind of see there's some nice wear on the barrel here so far, just from shooting at the range so far. I have not concealed carry this particular one, but I did beat it up quite a bit. There's some scratches on the slide. Shot probably close to 500 rounds, maybe close to 1,000 now out of this one. Take a fresh patch, squirt down, and just clean this up like so. You can take your pick here if you want. You can get in here, get in there, and go and get this little chamber indicator where you can kind of see through. Get the ramp a bit. Now you get to go and use your pull through. So grab your pull through and keep using this patch here. We're just trying to break up anything you see on here, and just kind of push it through. Probably only use that once or twice, honestly, because the big one is going to be this right here, which is your brush. And what we're going to do, you can either pull or you can push through. Totally up to you. So if you want to push through, or if you want to pull through, you can go and put it from the end of the barrel to the breech here. Just like so. And then my trick for this seems to work really well over the years. Put a little bit of oil on here and then actually wrap a patch very tightly around that brush and line it up, and then simply pull through. And you can see what that does. It digs the patch into the grooves of the rifling. Works very well, and I think it saves patches, honestly, because now what I can do is I can go into here, take this patch here, flip it over, and do it again. Go slow. This rod, usually if it's on a spinner here, it'll spin slow with the grooves. You can kind of see how that works. Do this as many times as you prefer. I don't clean my handguns every time I go to the range. Usually every 3 times has been my more recent kind of strive to do. But concealed carry I do if I shoot it, which I do shoot it quite often, which is either a SIG P365 or a Shield Plus, preferably the Shield Plus these days. I will clean that almost every time I shoot it, and at least keep it lubricated. You can kind of see how it's already coming back pretty clean. Let's do it one more time. And the good thing about CLP, it cleans and lubricates, which is good for metal, help keeping things well maintained and not all rusty. Put a little bit of extra oil in the end here. Let that soak inside the barrel a bit. Don't want to use too much CLP or any kind of cleaner you're using. Very minimalistic. I'm gonna say that's pretty good. Up to you how clean you want it. It really, I mean, it really goes to be that, how you really want to get this cleaned up or not. This ramp is pretty important. This one is not polished, or if it is, it's very light usually. You can kind of see the chrome on here, but it leaves a little bit of residue on there from the brass there, or the copper or the lead on the actual bullet casing, the bullet itself. All right, so that's done. I mean, magazines sometimes if you want to do a quick wipe you can, but there's not really much you do have to do with the magazine. Occasionally I will take a magazine apart and really clean it. These are nice, made in Italy by Mekgar. Mekgar is a great magazine company, but it's good to even use some of this leftover oil you've got from the cleaning patches and just get in there, because look, you can kind of really clean up any scuffs, polish it up, it just really shines. So magazines you can take apart. I used to do it occasionally, but unless you've been throwing them in the dirt, you don't really need to. Let's go to the slide here. All right, so slide, start with the patch, oil, we don't need that key right now, and just go over it with your hand to start. You see all that right there. Try not to mess too much with the firing pin back here. You can see how that works right there. Just go through, clean this all out as much as you can, because then you're going to go back through with your pick, give it a good scrub. Some people use brushes as well. I don't really have the need to use a brush, honestly. I mean, just going through with your fingers, cleaning it up to the best of your ability has worked really well for me. Even on the outside, it's good to get all of the metallic parts a good little bit of a wipe down. It really helps with keeping things clean. Get in there and do the best you can with just your fingers, and then grab that pick or Q-tip. A lot of people love using those Q-tips. And also, some people like letting this soak a little bit. So you could take one of those spray mist bottles, which I used to use all the time, little dollar spray bottles. And you can go and use that to do a quick spray over everything. I mean, it really depends on how much cleaner you want to put on here and how clean you want the gun. It's your gun, so it's just important to get it clean, hit all the spots on occasion. I can get in here a little bit. One thing to note, if you do spray at all, if you spray this, don't have the firing pin facing up. You don't want to get a lot of oil gummed up in there because you're not really getting in there. Occasionally you can take this back plate off and pull the firing pin out. And that's fine, but it's not necessary for every time you clean a handgun. So if you keep this from getting a lot of oil in there, it'll just run more reliably. You won't have to take out the firing pin and clean all that up. But it is good to clean it once in a while. It's just not necessary every time. So we did spray kind of this angle. Clean that face up here where the firing pin is. And one spot that is overlooked quite a bit, you can see right here, this is the ejector. It's right back in here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right there. If you can get one of your picks to get back there and get behind it, then that'll help with making sure it'll always grab that casing and eject it. So check that out. See how dirty that is? People overlook that extractor all the time. You want to make sure that is nice and clean. There you go. If you want to do another wipe down here, because you're gonna use your gloves, your residue, which is a good use for the gloves, afterwards to kind of just wipe this down one more time on the outside once it's all built up, just because it helps with any kind of oil residue on your hands. You don't need to douse it with oil, but it's good to clean it up the best you can. Yeah, go through here one more time, see if there's anything else in there. It looks pretty good, honestly. Okay, last but not least, frame. Yeah, it looks all right. Rails are a little dirty. Much like the firing pin, you don't want to just spray a bunch of oil in here. If you are using a spray bottle. And also those pieces here, you can see that there. Be careful not to hit those too hard with your fingers or a Q-tip or anything like that. Very clean, honestly. Simple, easy design to clean here from Taurus. Now you can get your pick in here a little bit and lightly go around these mechanisms here for the trigger. And of course you want to get underneath these rails here, not causing too much stress on anything. And you can kind of see, I mean, that, you know, it depends on how clean you want it. You can go in this mag well if you wanted to. Get a fresh one. See if there's anything left in here. Some people really take their time, and it is kind of therapeutic, honestly, to clean this stuff. I mean, firearms are adult Legos, let's be real. I mean, Legos are for adults now too, so there you go. Yeah, it's pretty good. But you can get down here in the mag well if you wanted to. Just take your pick and clean this up here. You can clean, but usually it's not too bad. You don't really need to clean up the magazine inserts, but you can see there's some dirt down there. And the outside, I mean, it's polymer, it's whatever. All right, so now check this out. That's not bad. I mean, what do we use? 8, 10, something like that. That's really not bad. You don't need to use a ton of patches on this stuff. So put it back together. You need to first consider lubrication spots. So in a firearm that you shot quite a bit, you can tell instantly where to lubricate because you can see where the wear patterns are. All right, so with the dropper, the best part is now you can take this and just put on there, right there. You can put it along here. I do like these needles. Just a little bit. Maybe up in here a little bit. Right on there. Barrel. Right there. Spring does not need anything. It's a spring. All right, barrel drops in like so. Large part of the captured spring goes forward. You can actually depress it just a little bit. My glove caught. Now you want to make sure it is centered. It kind of lines up, but it does have a little bit of give there. So make sure it's centered. Okay. And then last but not least, you want to put a little bit of oil on the rails here. Now you don't need to do anything with the tool. It's going to reset that turn point here as soon as you rack the slide like so. Already much smoother than it was. Test for functionality. And then I like to take the gloves and just do a quick wipe down all over. You don't have to, you can wipe it down with more patches. But if you wipe with the gloves, you already had oil on there anyways. So there you go. And you are all done. So that is cleaning of the Taurus GX4, either the Toro line or any of the GX4s. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, be sure to hit them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. As always, subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. Really helps me out. Head on over to Instagram. Follow me there. Like us on Facebook for all the latest and greatest deals on the internet. And we'll see you guys in the next review.